What in the world is going on with DC Studios? Well, I've got some thoughts. More right after this. What is happening, Internet? K-Wing here. How's everybody doing? And most of you are probably freaking out over yesterday's Hollywood Reporter thing on the Man of Steel 2 possibly being canceled. Now, is that likely? I don't know. But what you need to understand is that next week, they are having a very important presentation in front of CEO David Zaslav, where they will be discussing their plan, quote, for the future of DC. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh there. I don't really know what to think. The internet seems to think that James Gunn is kind of a double agent, and I used to pull for this guy. I did. I thought that it was kind of cool that he snuck in the Justice League for his cameo. And of course, you know that Warner Brothers digitally cut out Batman and Cyborg, but Superman, Wonder Woman, and of course Flash and Aquaman had some lines. So that was kind of cool. It looked like James was kind of this rebel guy, right? Well, now I don't know what to think. This all comes a day after Gal Gadot, the actress of Wonder Woman, announced that she's very happy to reprise her role. And then today, of all days, around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, well, they announced that Wonder Woman 3 is not moving forward. Now, let's back up the train right there. What does this mean? Well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Patty Jenkins is out, and Wonder Woman 3 is not happening in its current form. And this is important words, people. In its current form. It doesn't say outright canceled. This could mean they're going to bring in another director. This could mean that they're going to use Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in another project. Or they might just not do a Wonder Woman 3 at all. I mean, Wonder Woman 84 was kind of a bust. The movie didn't know what it was. Is it a woke movie? Is it a normal movie? Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Who's Steve Trevor? I don't know. The movie had so many tonal differences that watching the movie was just kind of like, this is the same, director that gave us Wonder Woman? And no, it's not the same director that gave us Wonder Woman, because Patty worked on Wonder Woman, but she also had Zack Snyder and his wife. She had, what's his name? Jeff Johns was involved. So there were 4 different directors working on that film, and Patty was there, but we actually got to see what Patty was like when she did Wonder Woman 84 by herself. And, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't very good. Does that mean Patty could have done a better job if maybe Zack Snyder and his wife were involved? Probably. Maybe it wouldn't have gone all over the place because the movie literally had an identity crisis in what it was trying to accomplish. And at this point in time, Wonder Woman 3 is not moving forward. But that could all change next week when James Gunn and Peter Safran sit down with Zaslav, and kind of like that whole apprentice show thing, and they pitch their idea for what the future of the DC films is going to be. Now let's talk about the Man of Steel stuff, because a lot of people are kind of, being all sensationalists on the internet saying Man of Steel 2 canceled, and Henry Cavill shouldn't have, done this thing where he quit The Witcher, and now he's doing this. Well, he did his cameo in Black Adam, which originally wasn't going to happen because Warner Media said no. And then he went to the Warner Discovery people and they said yes. And then afterwards, when he announced that I'm back as Superman, they actively went forward and they were getting a director and a script going and all this other stuff. And now they're saying, well, that's not happening. But that's not true. If you actually read the Hollywood Reporter article, it doesn't say it's not happening. They're saying they don't know what's happening with it. They're assuming because the Wonder Woman film was canceled, that means that the Superman movie is also dead. But that's not the case. Again, we'll find out next week what's going on, but I really don't think that Henry Cavill would be dumb enough to jeopardize his entire career to leave The Witcher, and also having the support of TC and Warner Brothers retweeting all his announcements and approving all his interviews saying, I'm back as Superman, just for him to talk about Black Adam and his cameo in The Flash. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at the time. I don't think that he is outright gone. And I also think that James Gunn doesn't hate the guy. So we'll find out what happens next week with Superman. Black Adam is, we don't know what's going on with Black Adam. Everybody's assuming that it's dead. It did not do very well at all. 400 million is not good. I mean, it's better than James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie from a few years ago and Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 84, but it's still that's really bad. That is not something that you want to boast about. Hey, this movie did this much. It's like no, no, no. Wasn't even really bad pandemic time anymore either. So that was it wasn't probably good for The Rock to say that. So according to the Hollywood Reporter, Black Adam 2 is unlikely. Yeah, that's a given. But I don't think The Rock actually was going to make Black Adam 2 right away. Anyway, he was either doing Justice Society or he was doing a Superman movie, Man of Steel 2. Superman versus Black Adam is not what the next project was going to be for him, at least according to interviews that he was doing. Black Adam was a good movie. I thought that the breakaway character wasn't Black Adam, it was Dr. Fate. And, well, Fate wasn't kind to Dr. Fate, we'll say that. But a lot of people still want to see a Dr. Fate movie, but apparently we're going to get a Hawkman movie. And it's like, what? I mean, I thought Hawkman was okay in the movie, but again, the breakaway star of that film was Pierce Brosnan, and he seemed to enjoy playing the character, so I say give him a movie. Blue Beetle's still happening, which everybody's psyched about. That's going to be awesome, coming out next year in 2023. The Flash is all over the place. I really don't want to get into that, but yeah, apparently Henry Cavill did a cameo for the Flash movie, and some changes happened to that with Henry Cavill involved, but according to the Hollywood Reporter, they don't know if he's even going to appear in the Flash. He could still do it, you know? Test screenings can mean a lot of things, but also they can change before the official release of the movie. So, you know, Superman could still show up and everything for Superman could be fine. Now let's address Aquaman, because everybody wants to talk about Aquaman. A lot of people are saying that Aquaman 2 might be Jason Momoa's swan song. And just like the Flash movie, it might be dead on arrival. Well, the reason why it'd be dead on arrival is because of, well, Amber Heard, the more than elephant in the room. A lot of people don't like her. I myself believe that she should have been fired at the same time as Johnny Depp because it was a media circus dragging Warner Brothers into their drama. And it would have been good for the company to just fire both of them and recast both people for the role. There was a couple people they could have brought in to play Mira, and then there wouldn't be this controversy surrounding their film. But Warner Media wanted to stand with Amber Heard, and Warner Discovery didn't. And they just couldn't come to a clear decision on what was happening with Amber Heard. They were trying to diminish her role in the movie. They were trying to cut her out of the movie. Didn't work. They ended up doing a whole buddy cop thing. They brought Ben Affleck in as Batman. They brought Michael Keaton in as Batman. Like, the Aquaman movie has so many different things going on with it that I can't see that film being successful. So if Jason Momoa is happy about playing Lobo in either a Superman movie or some type of Justice League thing, I say let him do that. He really likes the character. I liked him as Aquaman. I thought he did a great job. But you know, if he's not happy playing the role, let him be something else in the DC universe. But what I will tell a lot of these scoopers and people jumping the gun, read the articles very clearly before discerning, you know, what is true and what isn't. There is some truth to the article about the Wonder Woman thing, but it's not canceled. It's just not moving forward in its current form. So they could always change that and mess around with that. But, you know, I know that a lot of people like to go and jump the gun and make these really big titles on YouTube and on their blogs to get clicks. So it makes sense that people would say that. The news isn't as exciting as people are making it out to be. Next week is going to be insane. So look forward to that. But anyway, now I want to hear from all you guys and gals. How do you feel about the news? Do you think Wonder Woman 3 is dead? Do you think Henry Cavill is out of a job and no longer Superman after announcing he's Superman? And do you think Jason Momoa is quitting as Aquaman to play as Lobo? Really want to know your thoughts on that. No worries, the Batman 2 is going forward and all its spin-offs, so don't worry about that if you're really, you know, big into Batman like I am. So this just has to do with whatever Peter and James are doing. And keep in mind that if Peter and James do a bad job with their pitch, they're most likely getting fired, because that's how David rolls. But anyway, keep it locked here for all news on DC and TV, movie, video games, and occasionally comics. And I will see you guys with the big announcement next week about the future of DC Films, which is happening a lot faster than we anticipated. All right. Later, Gothamites.